5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, my name is Sylvia Thomas, and I will be talking to you today about the cardiovascular system. I am doing this project for my human biology class at Tallahassee Community College, and my teacher is Ms. Laura Oriorden. The cardiovascular system is the part of the circulatory system that is made up of the heart, blood vessels, and the blood. The heart is not really shaped like a heart as we so often see on Valentine's Day, but it's a nice thought since the heart is the main organ of our bodies. I'm going to take you to a drawing that I have, and this is more of what the heart is shaped like. And I guess we can kind of see that little heart shape right in there, but this is what you're looking at when you think of the heart. Isn't this a beautiful drawing? This is compliments of Wikipedia.com. All of the blood that circulates throughout our body has to go through our heart. The heart has four main chambers called the right and left atriums and the right and left ventricles. And I'm going to show you that again on our drawing. So we have the four main chambers, the right atrium and the left atrium, and the right ventricle and the left ventricle. And of course, you're going to be looking at this face on, so you're seeing the right side on the left and the left side on the right, as if a person were to turn around and it would be opposite. Now the left side of the heart, specifically the left ventricle, is the strongest part of the heart because it is the heart's main pumping chamber. The heart operates like a well-run machine with bad and good blood coming in and out through valves, capillaries, and arteries. The largest artery in the body is called the aorta. It is attached above the left side of the heart and is the last place that blood leaves the heart to be pumped back throughout the entire body, which is one of the reasons why the left side is the strongest. So let's go back to our drawing, and we have this is the left ventricle. So this would be the heart's strongest pumping chamber. And what happens is good blood, after it goes through a whole circulatory system of being cleansed, and we'll talk about that in a minute, the good blood leaves the left ventricle and it goes up into the aorta. This is what we call the aortic valve. And then it goes through the aorta, and then that good blood is pumped all throughout the entire body, which is one of the reasons why that left ventricle is so strong. It's the strongest part of the body. Now the blood that is pumped back into the body is sometimes called the good blood, which is oxygen rich. Its color is bright, vibrant red. After the good blood goes throughout the body, it comes back to the right side of the heart, first entering what is called the superior Vena Cava, then the left atrium, on down to the right ventricle. Now, I know I just said a whole lot, and that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you. So let's go back to our drawing, and you have the superior Vena Cava up here. And this is where, after the blood has been all throughout the body, it comes back through this superior Vena Cava, and then it goes into the right atrium, and then it goes into the right ventricle. Okay, and then from there, it's going to be pumped throughout the entire body. Now this blood that has gone throughout the entire body is sometimes called the dirty blood or oxygen poor blood. It then repeats this whole cycle of going through valves, capillaries, and arteries. The blood that leaves the right side of the heart then makes a trip through to the lungs. So when the blood leaves the right ventricle, it's going to go on a trip through what's called the pulmonary artery, and it's going to go through what's called the pulmonic cycle, and it's going to make a trip to the lungs. And This trip, like I said, is called the pulmonic cycle. It then, after it goes through the lungs, it then comes back to the left side of the heart and makes its way back to that left atrium. So it comes back to the left side of the heart and makes its way back to this. After going through the pulmonic cycle, comes back to the left atrium, and then it's going to go back down to the left ventricle and again back up through the aorta and back out through the entire body again. So this is the cycle that blood goes through when it goes through the heart and throughout the entire body. And you can see why the heart is such an important organ of the body, actually being the most important. The blood entering into the aorta, this last trip again, is now again good blood, and it's going to be pushed again throughout the entire body. Now I want to change my focus a little bit and talk about very quickly about the mitral valve. The mitral valve is one of the valves in the heart, and it is a very important valve located between the left ventricle and the left atrium. Remember, the left side being the strongest part of the body. So we're going to go over here to the left atrium, left ventricle, and here is that valve right there. It's called the mitral valve. And this valve, like I said, is a very important valve. It is responsible for making sure that blood does not backflow from the left ventricle into the left atrium. However, this valve can oftentimes malfunction, which is called a mitral valve prolapse. And many of you may have heard of that before, and it is also known as MVP. MVP can range from mild to very severe cases. So let me just go back to this mitral valve again for a second. And again, like this, it's responsible for the blood not backflowing from the left ventricle into the left atrium. So we don't want any blood backflowing, but this valve sometimes malfunctions, and it's called a mitral valve prolapse, and it's called MVP. And the reason I bring it up is because in the most severe cases, it can be responsible for sudden death from cardiac arrest in what appears to be young, healthy people. And I know many of us have seen a lot of athletes die very suddenly. A lot of people die very suddenly, and oftentimes it is because of this mitral valve prolapse. Symptoms can be from heart palpitations and chest pain. It is best to have an ultrasound of the heart to be properly diagnosed for this. This is called an echocardiogram. Most MVP cases are not severe, but it is best to be checked to make sure you are not in danger if there are symptoms. There are varying treatments for this problem, which may range from no treatment at all to surgery. It's nothing to panic about, and oftentimes it's very mild, but if you have symptoms, you should get checked. Thank you for listening to what I have had to say today about the cardiovascular system. Have a great day.